microphone, I guess. Ooh, are we good? Okay.
No.
Is it even louder? Because I put it on
It
the other
was.
side. So I'm going to call the meeting to order. It is 7 o'clock. And for all our guests here today, the fire exits are in the back and behind us as well. So exit in a orderly fashion if it goes off.
Everyone can have their own.
Yeah, everyone can have their own. Let's see here. So I need a motion from the Board of Education to approve the agenda for November 19th, 2024.
So moved.
Brian?
Second.
Rich? All in favor? Aye. So 6-0. We do not have public speakers today, so I'm going to move on. And we do not have our student advisors because I think they are at banquets today for fall sports. So
Hope they're having fun.
I'm sure they are, yeah. So I'm going to move on to my report. So bear with me. Okay, so it's been an exciting and eventful time the past few months in our community, and I'm just going to share a couple highlights of things that have been taking place. So academic-wise, the first quarter ended, I think, last Friday. So folks are starting the new semester, which is exciting. In terms of athletics, that has been very busy as well. Our sports teams have had a really amazing run this fall with multiple successes at sectionals, regionals, and state competitions. So congratulations to all our student athletes, coaches, and other support staff that are involved with those teams. Definitely impressive accomplishments this fall, and just all the hard work is duly noted. Additionally, we've had a lot of fine arts performances over the past month. So a number of our schools had plays. Martha Brown, I believe JP is this weekend. Is JP this weekend? Yep. And the high school had theirs. So congratulations to all the students, not just the folks that were performing, but also the behind the scenes stage crews and music and lighting and sets. It's a big accomplishment. So thank you to all the students that did that. I did want to highlight, we also had quite a few concerts over the past month. I know a lot of board members have children that have been participating, so we've been getting updates on how amazing that has been going. We also had the Rochester Philharmonic come, and I know Mary Caitlin was able to welcome folks at that event. Again, just grateful that we have that opportunity in our community every once in a while. We also had a number of students that participated in the high school area All-State Festival this past weekend. So congratulations to those students as well. If you were viewing earlier for our workshop, which I'm doubting many people were, but if you were, we did talk a little bit about our conference. The New York State School Board Association has a conference every month or every year, and most of us on the board here had the opportunity to go and attend various sessions and collaborate with other school boards from across the state. So we learned a lot. We're going to share the knowledge that we gained and discuss topics for the upcoming weeks and just use what we learned here in Fairport. So thank you for that opportunity. Another thing I did want to mention was school visits. Part of being on the school board, one of the best aspects of being a school board member is that we get to visit the schools. So once a month, we have a scheduled date on a Friday typically, and we go to the schools to not only hear from administrators and teachers and other staff, but also from students. We also have the opportunity to tour and look at projects that we hear about here at our meetings, or if we're there with our kids, we obviously see projects like construction, things that are happening, but we get to see it in this fashion as well. So in September, we had the privilege of visiting the high school. And during the visit, we heard from administrators, teachers, paraprofessionals, and other staff members. Students actually played a huge role by providing tours for each of us across the building. And we really got a firsthand look at what learning is looking like, how it's happening across subject areas. So it was really rewarding, and it was great to see the high school in action back in September. In October, so last month, we actually went to Dudley, so big difference. Uh, going from high school, yep, to our K2 building. But again, it was just a great experience. As we arrived, the students greeted us and they shared what they love about their school and what makes Dudley special to them, which is always great to hear. And then after that, we had a great presentation from the principal and assistant principal, and they shared a variety of information. They talked about their work plan for the year, initiatives that they're continuing with and adding to. And we just wanted to thank the staff and students at Dudley for their warm welcoming and taking the time to share all their experiences with us as a board. So just wanted to say, as we head into a busy holiday season, we'll continue to focus on what all students need, both socially, academically, emotionally, and we're excited and thankful for the opportunity to serve our community. So Thanksgiving is upon us, and I hope everybody has a great time next week. And I'm going to hand it to you.
Thank you. I think I'm going to start where you left off and just say happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And I think this is a season of thanks, and I appreciate all the work that's being done in our community, our school community. Our educators are simply fabulous. Our Board of Education is committed in thinking about our schools, like I say, when no one else is, and we're able to do so many great things. Like we saw two wonderful reports earlier this evening at the workshop, and that focused on the wellness and well-being of our students, and then of K-12 tech vision, if you will. So so much to be grateful for. We have 450 SRPs, school-related professionals. These are our non-certificated employees who make a difference in our schools every single day. There's so many, and I hesitate to even try to mention them all because I will leave somebody out. But today was their special day. It was celebrated in our schools today, and we'll be doing it again later this spring when it's a national recognition. But this is when the state is recognizing our SRPs, and behind so many great things here, you have these dedicated professionals, and you were mentioning them in your report as well. So thank you to our school-related professionals. I would also say that we have an amazing PTA, and this is our bright spot this month, and we're just our way to say thank you to them for all that they do.
Being a teacher as well as a parent in this district, I'm part of a couple PTAs because my daughter's a senior in high school. So, it's a great way to just continue to keep that connection and hear from other groups that typically maybe you wouldn't interact with on a daily basis. I think a lot of people benefit from the PTA, but don't really know exactly what the PTA does and how much there is involved.
Well, the PTA is able to bring time. We're able to collect funds, and we're also able to provide a wide range of perspective.
It's a great way to be informed, like behind the scenes stuff. And it's a great way to know things. And it's not just my child specific. And it was a way that I could help out, and not just in my own child's classroom. Like, it's more encompassing and more thinking about even the kiddos or families who aren't at the table.
There's this idea that all that the PTSA does is kind of throw parties. And that's really not the purpose of the PTSA. The PTSA is really to fill a gap, to listen to the needs of the teachers, the staff, the students, and to be responsive of that. And that may look very different with each school. I do see our teachers and our staff working really hard, and I know that the PTSA really does do a lot, not just for the students, but the teachers as well.
Our PTA is huge. They do so much for our school in terms of helping to organize special events, providing funds for the teachers. And I think without the PTA, we couldn't do those extra things.
When our kids see us backing up our teachers and backing up our admin and being present in our schools, then they see how important education really is.
I think that we live and breathe Fairport, and we have such a unique culture here. And we don't see that everywhere, because if a Fairportian needs something, we all come together.
We do feel kind of spoiled here at Fairport that our PTAs are so strong and they do so much for us, which in turn helps us do our job better. And, you know, it just keeps that connection and that sense of community really strong.
It really helped me feel comfortable and like I was more of a stakeholder in my child's education by showing up. So really the best thing you can do is just show up to a meeting or Zoom in, and that's the first step to take.
Like, no matter how much you can put into something to prepare, being in PTSA has made me realize it's all going to be okay. Like, even if something is not exactly perfect, it's all going to be okay. And just to see everybody come together and have a fun event where all the kids have a great time, and it's just amazing.
Thank you to Lindsay and Lauren for producing that nice video that shows our gratitude to our PTAs. More gratitude, Fall Crawl, which has been quite an event over the past several years, which started out at one single school, is now in all of our elementary schools, raised over $7,600 for the Galisanos Children's Hospital. It's a season of giving and gratitude. We're grateful for our talented musicians who are on the right there. 8 of these individuals went to the rec center with Elena Rick, who is the string ensemble conductor, and spent some time with our seniors and community members at Parrington Rec Center. And we're going to continue to do that and build upon that, just so we can make those connections and they can celebrate and see the value of our schools. And again, it takes people to do that. Thoughtful, talented people. When you ask them and they're like, yes, let's just do that and let's just showcase our students. That was great. Speaking about showcasing our students, the performing arts are alive and well. Fall plays, I think, Erica, you mentioned a couple, and Dracula, Twinderella, and Matilda Jr. will be occurring next week. Exciting times for our students and great memories being made. And wow, you should have seen Veterans Day the Friday before. It was amazing in our elementary schools, celebrating and doing a lot of learning and appreciating of all the great veterans. Todd Frank, who's here as well, and Dave Bass is one of our centuries. They served our country, and we appreciate all that they do and give. And our students were learning and celebrating and acknowledging, and it was a very important time for our school community. It was really touching. Fairport Athletic Excellence, and Erica, you really did, you captured this, but I'll get very specific. There's so many things that we do well, and the athletics is alive and well. Our coaches are amazing. They dedicate their time, but our student athletes are very successful. The boys varsity soccer team, congratulations, Class A, AAA state champions this past weekend. It was exciting. Girls varsity soccer team competed in the Class A, AAA, state finals, where they had a very successful season in their competition. Members of the boys varsity cross country team took 7th at the Class A state championships, always representing our track and field in cross country teams. Girls varsity volleyball team won in the regional championships, and now they're advancing to state, so they're still playing. And swimmers are competing in this weekend's New York State Athletic Association Championship. So many great opportunities for our kids. They're representing us with so much class, style, and pride, and we're excited to be a part of that and put our names on that. So thank you for supporting that, Board of Education. And can you believe it? Fall sports are concluding and the winter season is beginning. So there's teams right now as we're closing out season and celebrating. So before you know it, we'll be getting the spring season going. The year flies by. I am going to ask Mr. Stevens now to come up and talk a little bit about the 2020-21 23 capital improvement project. Just to put it back on everyone's radar, we're going to cede some time to him, and he's going to share the timeline and give some highlights of that. Mr. Stevens.
Yep, thank you. So up on the screen, you can see the milestone schedule for the 2023 capital improvement project. Big piece as we continue to move through the process, about middle of the way down on the left-hand side, the Fcsd submission of documents. That's the documents that went into the State Education Department regarding the plans for Fairport High School and Martha Brown work, both the Proposition 1 that included the addition work and interior renovations at Fairport High School, as well as some renovation work at Martha Brown, and Proposition 2, which is the brand new track reconstruction project and moving that track to the different location at the high school site. So right now it's under review. We did move to third-party review. The facilities planning department at State Ed brought that back. So in essence, it gets the project assigned to a third-party architect to help try to move some projects through the review process for schools. So it's at third-party review, anticipating approval in approximately January, at which time then we'd go through the bid phase and plan to award contracts in the spring to kick off the construction process at the multiple locations. So, and there you can see, and then on the right-hand side gives a quick summary of the scope of work at both Fairport High School and Martha Brown, as well as the anticipated timelines for that work to begin, with most of that kicking off in the spring of 25, with a good portion of the work to begin then. And then it will stretch over a couple of years with the phasing of the construction work as a whole. That's a quick update on the 2023 capital improvement project.
So just all on as on schedule as we can be, working through SED and everything.
Correct. Yep. As on schedule as we could be. Absolutely. It's really that review process that's taking place. There are comments going back and forth. So there's work once the architect submitted in August. There are comments back and forth with the project review team at SED, back with our architect, and just clarifying some of the different pieces in the plans.
So it's a lull, but it's high. I mean, it's happening. All the behind-the-scene work is occurring. User group meetings have and will continue to occur, and we're just waiting for those final submissions so we can get our work to bid and move forward.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
This, the board will have access to this, and I think this begs a communication to the community as well as an update on where we are, and we'll put that on our website as we move forward. One piece that we talked about throughout the year is our consolidation. Just giving you a little update. This is an ongoing process, 2026-27. The 9th graders will be consolidating with the 10th graders over here at FHS, and we'll be bringing our schools together and have one 9th through 12th building. You can see that, again, we've identified 8 pillars, and we're making progress in those pillars. Routing studies have been completed. Resolutions regarding the school start time are intact. We're studying wraparound care, and I'd like to hopefully have, by the end of closeout of this year, have a decision on our direction, and we can communicate with our community on how we're moving forward. There is a pillar with staff culture. The teachers between Minerva and FHS are meeting and having, they've had multiple meetings already. So again, starting to, unite departments. There's a wellness team that focuses on staff culture, and they're coming up with activities so staffs can come together and have, united opportunities just to connect with each other. All this is in the consolidation plan that I've shared with you. There's some personnel and staffing from human resources that is underway. There's MOAs that the board will be looking to actually, I'll be asking the board to codify tonight. And we're reviewing collective bargaining agreements with all of our units to make sure that we're being prepared and organized. There's a community engagement plan, which we're going to be talking a little bit about very soon here. There's a committee that's forming. It's celebrating Minerva DeLand. It's adding closure and an era to an amazing school that's affected so many lives, and we're starting to do some work on that. And like I said, the family communication survey is underway, and we'll talk a little bit about how we're tying that into this. And then there's a letter of intent from BOCES regarding a potential partnership with Fairport Central School District regarding the use of the use of Minerva Deland, excuse me, thank you. Those are just some highlights. There's many other pieces to this, but I'm just sharing very formally in this setting that, you know, there's some strides being made, and I'll continue to be talking about that in the near future. You know, one of the most exciting things going on is with our school improvement team. Today was a great day in Fairport. There were so many amazing things happening and building capacity in our staff so we can be the best for our students. I'm going to cede some time to Dr. Tanya Wilson-Thevenason, who's going to talk a little bit about our school improvement initiatives and what occurred today. It was very exciting under your leadership.
Thank you, Superintendent Provenzano and the Board of Education for having me speak tonight just briefly about our move towards a very robust learning institution. Not that we haven't always been, but a very focused and robust learning institution. Today,